I just have one more thing for Kalvin Garrah.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no, no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, 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 no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, 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 no.
Hi bitches, what's good? It's Janae. I'm back with another video. If you could take a quick moment to like and subscribe, it really helps me grow and just helps me continue to keep doing what I'm doing. Also, make sure y'all hit that bell because I'm going to be starting to stream soon and I'll keep y'all posted on to what I'm going to do. And also, you're going to get updates on all my new videos and my new music. So make sure you click that bell, like, and subscribe. Alright, let's get into the video.
Free in my mind for about 3 months. I have talked about him on my YouTube channel, on my TikTok, on my Instagram. I have had many conversations about him with my friends and...
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Brat, can you imagine the conversations they sit around and have with their friends? Like, can you imagine the shit that they be talking, like, about Kalvin? Like, them and their friends and shit? Like, I don't know. That's probably some weird ass shit. You could miss me with that shit, for real. One of my biggest pet peeves of things that fucking, like, YouTubers do is, like, when they try to act like they don't want to talk about a certain topic or whatever, they don't want to do a certain thing, but then they do it. It's like, obviously you do. Like, you're not going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't want to keep talking about Kalvin because I keep talking about him. You do, because it's getting you views. Like, this whole like Kalvin Garrah thing that's been going on with your channel and shit, like, it's literally the whole reason that you have a platform right now. So, like, obviously you want to do it, but these people, they want to act like they don't want to do it, so they come off a certain way, but it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I hate about YouTube with the posturing and shit. Like, it's fucking fine to want to make these videos because it's what gave you a platform, and it's because of what's getting views. There's nothing morally wrong about that.
And the thing is, even if he was interested in doing all of that work, which he's clearly not, the damage is already done. There is nothing he can say or do to fix the trauma that he has caused countless trans people.
Alright, first and foremost, I want to make it abundantly clear that I believe Kalvin fucked up. I believe that Kalvin did a lot of bad things. I believe that Kalvin has done real damage to the community, and I believe that damage is widespread. But my big issue of how Brennen is going about this is, like, they're the one that's, like, setting this, like, standard for what Kalvin needs to do to be seen as worthy to them. And they're very opposed to, like, accepting Kalvin's apology and trying to work forward and move on as a community together. And this is not okay, because it's not your prerogative. You don't decide what Kalvin needs to do to be accepted. You know what I mean? Like, you should forgive, and that's a given for everybody. Like, I believe that everyone should forgive, you know what I mean? Regardless of if the person has said sorry, regardless if that person feels sorry, you need to forgive, because that's in your control. That the ball is in your court in that case. And, like, holding a grudge or even just not forgiving a human being is holding on to something, and at the end, that's like negativity and damaging on your end. So, like, no matter what you've done to me, like the worst thing that someone's done to me, I forgive you 100%. Even if you don't feel bad for it, I still forgive you. That's really not what forgiveness is about. And you seem like you want Kalvin to hit all these notes that you want him to hit in order for you to find his apology worthy, which is absolutely insane, entitled, and bratty. Like, you don't get to decide. So Kalvin actually apologized in private to Brennen a long time ago, but on his most recent video, taking responsibility and stepping away, whatever he titled the video, I don't know exactly, but yeah, so on his most recent video, he actually read out an apology, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that right now.
After Brennen made their initial video, I sent them this message, and I'm gonna read it for you guys. I messaged them from my private Instagram, my like local Instagram. I said, hey, I'm messaging you from my private account because I think you have me blocked on my main, but I wanted to send you a message and make sure that you know I watched your video, and I have a lot of feelings towards it, but first and foremost, I do owe you an apology. I want to make it abundantly clear that due to my own ignorance, I really had not gone back and rewatched my original video to reevaluate what I had said in years. But after watching it recently, I took it down, and on that live stream with Riley, I was drunk and kind of talking out my ass, but I did take it down honestly because I don't agree with several assertions I made about you and the general attitude I had within the video. I would like to respond to your video, but I felt it was only fair that I messaged you first to apologize personally to you for the rude and harmful way I spoke about you, especially relating to your appearance. because I recognize now that doing so was completely irrelevant to the overarching point I was trying to make. At 17, I had little awareness as to how large of a reach and impact my videos could have, but at 20, I have more of that self-awareness, which I hope has been reflected in my more recent videos. If I'm being 100% honest, which I always want to do, I don't entirely disagree with the points about dysphoria that I made in the video, and I'm saying this because I don't want you or anyone else to think I was ever dishonest about what I believe, but I can 100% admit that I was unnecessarily mean to you, and I would never want my actions to result in making someone's eating disorder worse or to incite my audience to be hateful. Do I think the actions of my audience are entirely my fault? No, but I do believe that I should have taken better precautions to ensure you didn't receive harassment, and for that, I really truly am sorry. I don't expect you to accept my apology or have any positive feelings towards me, but my intention in sending this message to you is so that you know you've been heard and that you've been seen. I would like to make a video response to explain my point of view and publicly apologize, as well as ask my audience to apologize in the comments if they ever made any unnecessarily rude comments towards you. I want to give you the heads up because I believe you reserve the right to that. Just know that my only reasoning for not writing to you or responding immediately was to allow your words to settle in my mind and to make sure everything I said in regards to your video was fair and took your feelings into account. I do not apologize for things I do not believe warrant an apology, so I hope you can put faith into me to at least know this is genuine. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help give you peace of mind from this point forward. I really do wish you the best in everything you do, and once again, I'm sorry that my video and words affected your mental health in such a significant way. I would never do that intentionally, and I hope that you are able to heal from the damage I have caused.
So when I first heard that from his video, I was really impressed. I was like, wow, that's a really genuine, well thought out, good apology, you know? And I think that if you had went back and you told old Kalvin that he was going to do this and he was going to write an apology like this, I think old Kalvin would fucking not believe him. He'd be like, never would I apologize to one of these cringy SJWs. You're like, no, he'd say some shit like that. So I think this really just shows how much growth he has alone. But the response from Brennen was insane, and I actually have their entire response, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this right now. So right off the bat, it starts off very rude and like entitled and bratty. It starts off, this isn't a sufficient apology. Who talks that way? Like, were you not socialized right? Real apologies start and end with acknowledging your actions in the affirmative to display that you fully understand what you did wrong and divorcing that from defensive claims you want to make. It really devalues the content of your apology when you undercut it by bringing up your ongoing disagreements and positions. You have so far not stopped creating videos that harass non-binary and gender non-conforming trans people. You literally still have a video with me in the thumbnail on your channel. You have not displayed the capacity to truly understand the harm you do. So my first issue of this response so far is that you don't get to critique someone's apology. That's really not in your place. Like, if someone's apologizing, that's from the conviction of their heart, and they're apologizing what they feel sorry for. So, you know, that it's polite to say thank you, not you need to do better. Like, you sound like a snobby little bratty bitch, and the fact that he's apologizing is good, right? The fact that he's showing that he cares at all, that he hurt another human when he was younger and he's trying to do better, the fact that he's fucking like trying should mean something. And also, people keep talking about the non-binary shit. I get the fucking Neo pronouns video, that probably wasn't the coolest video for him to make, but besides that, he's been very consistent in how he feels about non-binary people, and it's that they're valid. So I don't get that part. Anyways, moving on. An example that comes to mind is your video on the R-slur, in which you used your own history of getting bullied as a way to justify the harm you did to someone else. You repeatedly display an intense lack of emotional maturity in the way that you approach the harm you've done with your platform. I know that you still think you repeatedly make that very clear. When that changes, there might be a conversation to be had in good faith and about accountability and change, but that doesn't exist until you take the risk of separating yourself from the most popular and most harmful content. Now, here's the thing, is that as far as the R slurs go, T slur, nobody should be hurt by Kalvin using a word, unless if he's using it to hurt you. He explained why he uses the R slur. That's not your prerogative to like fucking police how people use language. I like to use swears. I have reclaimed both of those swears because slurs, I don't know, I guess they're swears, I don't fucking know, but I have reclaimed both of those myself as well because I like that language, and that's my personal choice. So people need to calm down about that. And like, as far as like talking about him changing, like, it's clear. Like, I think people are fucking stupid if they don't think he's changed. Like, you can look at his channel, you can listen to him, like, and then go back a year. There's a clear difference. Anyone who doesn't see that is not coming in good faith. All right, moving on. You know, the ironic thing about all of this is that you are so often so close to getting it. You've been bullied growing up for having learning disabilities. You know the pain of being misgendered and being forced to endure the physical and psychological pain of dysphoria, as well as the explicit external attacks on your own identity by cis people. But here's maybe where your toxic masculinity gets in the way. Instead of directing your energy and platform to making sure that doesn't happen to anyone else, your devotion to what fuck ever that word is, gender, convinces you that all of the pain and insecurity you have endured should be projected back onto other people. Natalie Wayne pointed out in her cringe video that you responded to, you haven't really done much to show that it's just as deep as she said it was. Now, I agree with a lot of what's actually being said here. However, I would say that Kalvin doesn't display these behaviors anymore. I would say that when he did all of that damage to the community, when he was acting the way that he was acting, I think that was definitely what it was, and that was 100% his mindset. I think he was like really projecting a lot of those things that happened. However, like, it's insane to characterize him still like this. I think the internet has an inability to like see when people are changing and understand what actual change is. I noticed him starting to change a while ago, and like, that was good. I'm happy. Y'all should be fucking happy. Someone is changing based on their own prerogative. They realize they fucked up and hurt people and they're changing, and you people are attacking this person. That's my issue. People come here and they're like, oh, why are you taking Kalvin's side, or why are you defending Kalvin or whatever? Well, I don't fucking defend his actions. I think his actions were wrong. I just think this cancel culture bullshit is fucking bullshit. Alright, moving on. I do believe that you have been honest about what you feel sorry for to a certain point. I think you are emotionally earnest and try not to be a grifter. That's a start, but I do not believe you have done the kind of self-examination to notice when you are allowing yourself to lie or twist the truth in order to justify the negative feelings you are projecting onto other trans people. I don't think you have displayed the kind of progress that shows me that you are responsible enough to mix your apology with an explanation of your academic disagreements on the nature of trans identity. I mean, once again, like, this person saying, oh, I get that you're saying you're sorry for these things, but like, you haven't done enough to change. Like, you sound like a fucking asshole. Like, shut the fuck up. The fact that someone's trying to change, like, you don't get to decide what's enough. That's between God and Kalvin. You should be fucking grateful. You should be happy. It's a positive thing if he's changing. Maybe say like, oh, I'm happy you're changing, but like, you could do this more. But like, the way that you're framing it, you sound fucking snobby. You sound privileged as fuck, and I don't like that shit. Anyways, moving on to the next one. The only reason you're DMing me is because almost all the comments on your YouTube poll about this told you to apologize to me directly and privately. Or maybe you're DMing me because my video has more views than your last 5 videos have gotten. You wouldn't have ever apologized to me personally if it wasn't for the intention I'm getting. I know that because you never apologized to me personally before this. I'm having a hard time believing that this is from the bottom of your heart. So, I mean, obviously, once again, only God and Kalvin would know this. I can see where they are coming from, because it's like, oh, why hasn't Kalvin apologized before? And honestly, what we do know is that from when he went on Riley Grace's stream, he did say that like he hasn't ever really even thought about that video until she brought it up, and then that's when he made the decision to take it down. And besides that, like, more recently is when his opinions have changed anyway. So like, the time zone where he would have even like been apologizing to Brennen is more recently. So I don't think it's fair to assume that he's doing this for those reasons. It could be, it also could not be. Anyways, moving on. What can you do to help me? Thoughtfully engage with trans people who don't share your same experiences. Stop making reaction videos when you have shown multiple times you cannot do that responsibly. Research toxic and positive masculinity and internalize that research. Recognize the parts of you that feed off of male entitlement and privilege. Check your ego, do the work, and if you really want to show that this isn't just another way to profit off of the trauma you caused me, send the AdSense you made by harassing other trans people back to them. For starters, send me the money you made from the video you made about me. My Vimo is, don't send this person money, but what the fuck? What in the literal shit? Are you fucking serious? Like, oh my god, like, damn, like, if you said that to me, I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry I ever apologized. You're a really shitty person, you know? Like, that's kind of fucked up. You're asking him for all the money? What the fuck? You're asking this fucker to pay you? Because, like, damn, like, Blair said a lot of shit about me and she got my whole channel taken down, and I don't think that bitch should pay me. Like, that's a way, like, overreach, if I'm being honest. And then also, just again, like, you just have a whole list of shit that you want him to do. Like, fucking, he's got to be fucking perfect, right? Like, him giving a fuck is not good enough for you, I guess. Anyways, I'm just gonna finish this off and then we're gonna move on. Also, she would be mad at me if I didn't throw this in. My co-writer, Alice, wants to publicly debate you on trans medicalism. If you'd like to set that up, email her at whatever the fuck. Finally, a word of advice. I don't think you can fix the damage you've done online. Deplatform. Try existing in the real world for a while. Focus on your studies. Join your local GSA. Go to a gay bar or a drag show. Try growing up without the massive echo chamber you've created for yourself. This person's literally like, get off the internet. And then also that you have a co-writer. Someone told me that fucking Brennen has like a ghostwriter for their scripts and shit, which is insane to me. I've never scripted one video. I literally turn on my mic and talk. Like, talking comes pretty easy to me, but I don't fucking know. Like, that shit just had me. That shit sent me my co-writer for a fucking response to an apology. Y'all people don't even live in the real world. Y'all people weird. Oh my gosh. Like, I've seen people like this too. That's the thing. Like, this whole like type of person. Like, there's a certain type of queer person, you know what I mean? Like the reserved ass ones. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna move on. So I did have more clips that I was gonna react to, but honestly, I'm not gonna do that. This video actually went different than I planned it. I don't really plan my videos. I kind of just start making it, and then like whatever creative process I have, it kind of just comes to fruition. That's kind of how I make music too, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really write lyrics and shit. I just fucking hear a beat and I rap over it. Like this shit too, like I see some shit on the internet and I want to talk about it, so I just fucking like put it into the editor and then I'll like record clips and shit. I do it like that basically. Anyways, peace out bitches, have a great one. I love y'all.